Christina, Universe Citizen presents New Era Religion, Episode 97, Part 2, August 14, 2022. Identifying observed events as systems. Continued from Part 1. The energy that sustains us, systems in universe, is because the atoms exist. Few of us accredit being designed in principle to figure out how systems behave, much less in any consciously tuned-in concern of atoms and the geometries and topologies of all systems. It concerns the most economical behavior relative to systemic thought, unity, and self in universe. Calling these particles by different names found in Synergetics, commencing from the A and B Quanta Modules that we can further explore in Synergetics 400.43. The modules are minimum asymmetric systems that topologically constitute the geometry of a tetrahedron. The tetrahedron constitutes the generalized nuclear geometric limit. The accurately conceptual limit is not detrimental to our evolving as a highly intelligent being, as the PRJWBCSchemes are, that continue to perpetuate the slave mentality conditioning. This difference is an outstanding fact of our anticipatory design science potential realization, since metaphysical intellect conceptualizes systemic events independent of size, time-space sizing. It is where the size alone can come to zero, not the conceptuality. So, the geometrical limit of rational differentiation may be identified as the prime minimum rational structural system. But this is not what we have been taught to recognize, as most of us are disinterested in the modelability of those subatomic particles, not yet being informed that the tetrahedron is the particulate. Once informed of the tetrahedron as the particulate, we can now refer to the mite as the micro-limit that is mathematically demonstrable and conceptualizable as rational fractionation. The fractionation is of physically energetic structuring and metaphysical structuring referential to the topology and geometry of the whole WHOLE system as a minimum thinkable set, the mensural unit, systemic thoughts, eternal patterning integrity. Since the mite consists of two A modules and one B module, as the minimum cosmic limit constant, but not the geometrical shape constant, we are encouraged to wonder how the volume to surface ratios of the B modules operate. Can those particles by other names in any way, shape, or form invite differently innovated names as systems of universe? Lay intellect asks. It is not the highly educated particle physicist asking, such seemingly unrelated questions because apparently as of 1991, the muon and neutrino that equal to leptons and can be made in the laboratory, the one tauon plus one neutrino equal 2 leptons, and the electron plus neutrino equal 2 leptons. These 6 leptons, which are electrons, are not called by the names we are reading about in Synergetics. The mite, the sight, the bite, the right, the kite, the Kate, shown in color plate 17, color plate 18, color plate 19, and explained in Synergetics 986.420 through Synergetics 986.429 in our Buckminster folder Synergetics, to which my new era religion and now Planet U essay writing refers, spells universe with a capital U, because all physical reality is special case, and special case is time, size, frequency. Wherever humans have the experienced energy, we have the special case differentiated from the generalized metaphysical conceptualities of always and only coexisting complementarities. So, knowing that an energy event is always special case, which is time, size, physical, gives our individual interest in the difference between the physical and the metaphysical, more accurately perceived and conceived events with general systems thinking in mind. An event is that something we can conceptualize independent of size. This is especially important once metaphysical intellect knows that it is size alone that can come to zero, not the conceptuality. Astrophysicists and scientists in universities spell universe with lowercase u. But those science-minded observers do not necessarily associate the articulated phenomena with general systems, and seem to omit system as a comprehensively knowable conceptual and contextual parameter that at minimum coincides with systemic thoughts, polyhedral, referential, topology, and geometry. Bucky Fuller initiated spelling universe with an uppercase U as a clarification of what proves to be more accurately conducive to information gathering, local problem solving in support of universal integrity. Such observations of the reenacting articulations referentially generalized to the minimum system of universe and may turn out to be more manageable for our evolution species, whose coexistence relies on discovering more about the particles that are environmentally essential for life-sustaining energy, coinciding with our 21st century consciousness evolution. Consciousness evolution continues as experiential, experimental, interrelating interactions, including all that can be conceptualized relevantly to system awareness, survival, and evolving out of the womb of permitted ignorance. Surviving and evolving is a continuous information gathering, local problem solving process throughout our humanity's considerate, rational, regenerating coexistence. Of course, there are any number of intellectually educated degrees of curiosity on a planet populated by approximately 8 billion humans. Uneducated humans wonder as well, but may not yet know the words to express their intuitive and instinctual curiosity concerning the truth of all that is. All that is requires energy for life-sustaining events to various degrees of importance and applicability. And yet our coexistence, as of 2022, continues ignoring the energy event and general systems theory, knowing very little about systems and much less about the regenerative patterning integrity that is of universe, uppercase U, as a conceptuality independent of size, whether knowing of it or not. Regardless how far apart the concepts in mind can get, systemic thought's generalized content does not get farther apart than proton and neutron. Proton and neutron is one of the always and only coexisting complementarities that physics has found. So when it comes to what humans can conceptualize as a natural survival and evolution function, this includes awareness of systemic thought coinciding with observations and articulations of self and others, this is to say, living self, and eternally regenerative evolution environment, which is all that is in universe, including others. At the moment of death, metaphysical life vanishes, yet no weight is lost, as only the once alive entities, chemistries remain in the physical environment. The chemistries generalize to atoms. Perhaps humans everywhere on planet Earth have the atoms in common, as atoms combine to make molecules, and an atom is the smallest particle of a chemical element. The smallest particle consists of a positively charged nucleus surrounded by negatively charged electrons, according to Oxford University Press Dictionary and Thesaurus. In any case, awareness of self and others, self and environment, which include others, consists entirely of invisible atoms. In common to each of us is the truth of atoms that in crystals are arranged in various rows, tiers, and layers, as Isaac Asimov explains this orderly fashion of arranging atoms in his book Frontiers, first printing 1991. In Synergetics, first printing 1979, metaphysical intellect becomes aware of the closest packing spheres and cosmic hierarchy that refers the energy vectors and all topological characteristics to spheres, mainly 12 around one same size spheres, the unit radius spheres. To be continued in Part 3. Thank you.